All right, welcome to the Intern podcast, everybody. I'm Lindsay Aarons here with Lauren Shehadi. Thank you so much, Lauren, for joining me here today.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. So I'll jump right in. This is a pretty basic question, but with the postseason right around the corner, who is your World Series pick to win it all, and who do you have? What's your matchup prediction?
Oh, gosh, you know what? In the beginning of the season, I always said it's hard to bet against the Dodgers and the Yankees. And there have been so many surprise teams. Houston has just completely won my heart with their lineup and their rotation. The Yankees have been good. The Blue Jays have surprised me as well in an amazing way. The NL East is down to the wire this year. The Mets and the Braves. Ooh, let's say Dodgers, Yankees win.
Really? Wow. Okay, that's a bold prediction. And obviously, the Yankees have been the talk with Aaron Judge, everything he's done lately. So obviously, he tied that Roger Maris home run record with 61. Do you see him breaking it before the season ends?
Well, for sure. So I was in Toronto and I got a chance to witness it. And it had been just a couple of days, I think it was 7 without a home run. So he was so calm and cool. I think the rest of the crowd and his teammates were more nervous than he was. And then when he hit it, everyone's arms outstretched. His big smile, Roger Maris Jr. was in the stands and he kind of laughed and smiled and said, oh gosh, he's everything that's right about the game. And his mom, Patty, was there. He gave her the ball. It was just a perfect fairy tale. And then now they're back in the Bronx. So I think his hope, of course, is that he breaks it in front of the home crowd.
No, definitely. I saw the interview you did with him and you did a great job, by the way. It was
awesome. He was great. He was awesome.
No, yeah, it was incredible. And also, so I saw not a couple weeks ago, recently when Albert Pujols broke that 700 record, Greg Amsinger was blowing up on social media for that prediction he made of when it was going to happen. Did you see that?
I couldn't believe it. I mean, he said LA in September on the road. And, those are bold predictions because actually at the beginning of the season, I didn't think he was going to get to 700. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. He was a little bit far away and we didn't know what, he's getting, this is his last year. So we didn't know what to expect from him, but what a prediction and kind of what a moment in time, right?
No, I didn't think he was getting to 700 either, but that prediction was just like crazy spot on. So I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you have a prediction of when Aaron Judge will hit 62?
Ooh, let's say this weekend against the Orioles. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I hope you're right. We're going to have to wait and see about that. And speaking of waiting and seeing with Aaron Judge, obviously the talk is he going to be a Yankee next year? What do you think? Do you think he'll be there? And if not, where will he be?
You know what? I think that the pinstripes are hard to get out of your head. I think he loves first of all, there's the judge's chambers and there's the whole, but he's performed amazingly there. The fans love him. A lot of them come to watch him, and it would be hard to see him in a different uniform for me. I say stays.
Really? Okay. I'm a Mets fan, so I'm hoping he comes to the other side of New York. So hopefully that'll happen for me, but we'll see if he stays in the pinstripes or not. So now let's get more away from Aaron Judge and more into just asking about you. So how is it being a woman in such a male-dominated industry?
I look at it as a great positive. I mean, I didn't play the game, but there are many of my male counterparts that didn't either, and all you have to do is ask a good question and kind of listen to the response and feed off of that. I find that you have to be prepared. It's so darn important to be prepared and know what you're talking about. That's if you're a male or female, it's the same. I have not met any kind of roadblocks along the way. I really haven't. There have been so many incredible women who have paved the way. Susan Waldman, Leslie Visser was my first mentor, the first female in the Football Hall of Fame. So they kind of went through the period that you have to kind of break a few barriers so that we could reap the benefits, and we're forever grateful to them.
No, yeah, definitely. So I'm glad that you haven't had to face too many challenges in terms of that. So speaking of, can you give me like a timeline of your career? Like I know you went to the University of Florida. What did you major in there? And just take me through your whole career up until where you are now in MLB Network.
In production at University of Florida. I worked for Gator Zone, which was their website, gatorzone.com. And I remember I interviewed Steve Spurrier as my first interview, and I was just shaking in my boots, and he said, hurry it up. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I fumbled through a question. And after it was done, I thought, gosh, I love this. So from there, I went to Sarasota, Florida. I was the overnight editor, and I got the wrong lotto numbers for this person who won the lotto. And I was like, I'm not cut out for this business. It's too intense. But I'd follow the sports director around after my overnight shift. So I'd get done at 9 o'clock in the morning and I'd follow him around, and I made a tape and I sent it out to 100 news directors. And I got one job to Minot, North Dakota. I arrived there, it was -40 degrees. I'll never forget it. And I was like, what am I doing here? But news director, Jim Olson, I learned from the very best. He was so kind and so good. And then I went to cbssports.com and did fantasy football. So that's a really awesome fan base, right? So everyone's so passionate about fantasy football. I loved it. And then from there, I went to MLB Network and TBS. So I'm basically all baseball all the time, with the exception of a little bit of March Madness, which is awesome because I love telling those kids stories, and that's where I'm at now.
That's awesome. That's incredible. So of your whole career, do you have any moment that's been the most memorable of any event that you've covered?
Ooh, gosh, most memorable. I would say doing the trophy presentation last year at the NLCS. It was for the Braves. They beat the Dodgers. Did they beat the Dodgers? Oh gosh, it's all melding. It's all
No,
melding.
you're all good. Don't worry.
They won the CS, and we did the trophy presentation, and just the smiles on their face. Freddie Freeman, it was last year in Atlanta, and the interview that I got with him, and just so many great athletes, and you get to know their families, right? You get to know their stories, and so many, stories of them overcoming hardships. And it was just a moment that I thought, oh gosh, pinch me, I can't believe I'm here.
No, definitely. I saw that Freddie Freeman interview too. It was amazing. That was incredible. So where do you see the future of the industry going for women, and like what advice would you give to young women trying to break into it?
I just think the sky's the limit for sure. I think the advice I would give is about social media. Just it's a hard fine line, right? Like, you just want to make sure that you are following the game, and you want to make sure that you're studying. But that would be my advice for any male or female. Just know your stuff. Work hard, be kind. It's not just because it's a small business, it's because you want to be kind in life, right? It matters. So be kind, and the sky's the limit for anyone.
Thank you so much, Lauren. I really appreciate your time today and all your really thoughtful answers. Thank you so much.
Of course, Lindsay, thank you.
Thank you.